Ruselli Northern supports upstate New York construction with over 400 employees, 250 trucks, 9 ready-mix plants, 4 blacktop plants, and 40 aggregate mines. But their most important number is your bottom line. Contact them today to see why Ruselli Northern has been the choice for contractors and project managers across upstate New York since 1929.
All right, everybody, welcome into the FL1 betting podcast here on FingerLakes1.com. Paul Russo, Jim Sinicropi, Kyle Evans here with you. Week 5 of the NFL in the books, week 5 of our picks down, and I still don't know anything NFL-wise, but I do know college. I feel pretty confident in my college stuff at this point. NFL, I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go, though. But guys, how's the week been for you so far?
Very busy. Lots of sports on, lots more coming this weekend, even tonight. For me, a lot going on. Playoff baseball, hockey starts, football, of course. So, yeah, it's been going great for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, a lot going on for sure. Great baseball. I got a futures bet on the Padres. It's still alive.
Look at that.
Got the JMU Dukes tonight
That's right.
against Coastal Carolina. I know that most of America is going to be tuned into that and probably not the Seahawks 49ers game. So
I mean, I'll probably at least have something tuned in on that. The Chanticleers and the Dukes. Nothing wrong with that. Let's get into last week's picks first, gentlemen. And I, once again, have the best week somehow. Kyle, you are slipping. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, the Saints disappointed.
should have not gone with me and my Saints picks. He should have seen when I picked the Saints that it was going to be a loser, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, and then the Bills-Texans not going over, had multiple chances to go over late in the game, especially the fourth quarter. So, yeah, just what are you going to do? Tough week.
Yeah, Missouri was my only dud, and they just were not even in that game against A&M at all. But
Yeah, that wasn't even close.
I got my groove back with the college games, so I'm going to keep in that lane as best I can. Yeah, good stuff out of the Sun Belt for the Texas State
My bet
Bobcats and the
against
Thundering Herd.
JMU last week paid off.
They did.
I can't understand how Northern Illinois doesn't beat UMass worse than that, but whatever.
But yeah, I mean, Northern Illinois was, I think they were outright down at one point even in that game. So I don't know.
Team that beat Notre Dame struggled with UMass.
Yep. College football.
They also
Soon to be conference foes next year in the MAC.
Oh, really? No kidding. Well, then Northern Illinois played 2 weeks ago NC State at NC State, and it was a one-touchdown game.
Yeah.
But yet they struggle with UMass.
Yeah.
That's the problem with betting sometimes. They just you think you got it figured out, and you don't. I mean, I've been getting crushed on this show.
You have.
A lot of time for a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's the beauty of it. I think the only thing really this week I kind of wanted to talk with you guys before we got into our picks was, we get done doing Bills Weekly this week, and, we're kind of talking about, what to expect and blah, blah, blah. And then here they are on Tuesday morning. They can Robert Saleh. Now we have the saga of whether or not Aaron Rodgers had a say or not, Woody Johnson being Woody Johnson, absolute chaos. Nathaniel Hackett did get demoted, I saw this morning officially. I mean, just I admittedly feel bad for our Jets fans out there at this point. You have talent in front of you, and once again, the Jets are being the Jets.
Yeah, but if you think about it, all this is going on, but if they beat the Bills Monday night at home, they're in first place.
Yeah, they have a shot to be right, in the thick of things, despite everything going wrong. But yeah, I think that definitely Rodgers had a say in it, but I think the plan was to let Hackett not call plays next week against the Bills just to mix it up. Yeah. And I like that because now how the Bills know what to prepare for.
Right.
But instead they just fired Saleh.
And look, my thing with it too is Do I think Saleh at the end of the day was probably the guy for the job? Probably not at this point, right? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and whatever, but the fact of the matter is that he's the defensive-minded head coach, or former head coach, and the defense wasn't the problem at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, bad situations. I mean, Sam Darnold's a perfect example of it. He was cast off as a nobody. Then he found himself in a good situation this year with the Vikings, and all of a sudden, he's quarterback of the best team, and everybody loves Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I was about to say, Jets do have a knack for that. For me, it's Chad Pennington, who was always kind of at least good.
That's a guy I haven't heard about in forever.
Well, here's one that you probably never heard of, but Jim probably remembers. They were the ones who had Ken O'Brien, right, back in the day.
No doubt. Ken O'Brien. That was when they were decent. Who was their running back? Was it Freeman McNeil? But yeah, they had a run, lost to the Browns, I think, in the playoffs. I mean, this is going way back to like the late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, no, the Jets have always got excited about somebody or somebody, and they've always kind of not lived up to the hype.
Right.
Same thing happened with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is the second year of it.
Yeah.
But like Kyle said, the Jets are right there.
Yeah.
They're favored to beat the Bills at home on Monday, and if they do, they're tied for first in the AFC East. And the years of any team in the NFL just kind of gliding through the regular season and into the playoffs. I mean, you remember last year the Bills were in jeopardy of missing the playoffs, and the Chiefs last year weren't even shoo-ins for the playoffs in the midpoint of the season. So, yeah, if you're a Jets fan, I wouldn't be too disheartened by it all. Could be worse.
Sure.
And if you're a Vikings fan, I wouldn't get too excited yet either. And if you're a Bills fan, like, this is a big game this week.
Yeah.
But again, it's too early in the year to make sweeping judgments of who's going to be there in the end, because it's just a crazy, crazy league.
The crapshoot continues. One last thing before we get to our picks. A lot of ranked versus ranked college games again this week. I know you, especially you, Kyle, aren't fully on it, but the main one being the Red River rivalry, Texas and Oklahoma, is on Saturday. 14.5 is the line at the moment. Collectively, it seems like throughout.
I got a side on it for my bets this week. It's one of my 3 plays.
I didn't want to fully. So if that's the case, I'll actually wait for your pick then.
Okay.
Because at 14.5, there's some numbers plays here that I think are worth bringing up. So I'll pump the brakes on that one. That kind of works out perfectly, I'd say.
It's my lock of the week.
Is it really? Wow. I'm liking where this is heading. Okay. I had the best week, but I think with that, maybe, Jim, I think maybe I should turn it over to you on that one, unless you want to.
Yeah, let's go. Since we're talking about Texas, Oklahoma, offensively, Oklahoma is one of the worst Power 4 conference offenses, out there, and Texas defense.
Being very respectful of the Sooner offense this year by you saying that.
The Texas defense is one of the best units in the country. Mm-hmm. And the Longhorns are coming off a bye week, and, Texas looks like the favorites for the national championship this year. I mean, like, there's nothing I've seen that's shown that they're not the number 1 team in the country. They're going to kill them at home coming off the bye week. Take the Longhorns -14.
Okay.
What do you got it at now?
Well, for that, you are locked in at 14 because that is the better number.
DraftKings was down this morning, by the way, so you couldn't even.
So the tough part about this game is throughout it, especially even recent history, and I'm going to say that as turn of the millennia at 2000, there have been a number of blowouts.
Throw the records out the window in the Red River rivalry.
Exactly, that's where I'm getting at with this. Outside of 2 years, what will be 2 years ago now, Texas 49, Oklahoma nothing. You have to really dig back deep to get to where it was a more than 14-point margin, and that would be 2012, Oklahoma 63, Texas 21.
It's going to be something like that this week.
Yeah,
Texas is going to be on top.
So it's one of those things where, I think Texas outrights the winner, But that half point, depending upon how you get it, might make the difference in
You
this
can
game.
tease it to 13.5 if you want, but take it to the bank.
Lock of the week, you said, right?
Yep.
All right.
Law of averages is going to kick in for me the rest of the way here.
I like that.
And I'll continue on.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Staying in college, I like Colorado State plus 1.5 against San Jose State. If just look at the records and who they played, Colorado State lost to Oregon State, Texas, and Colorado. San Jose State started off with 3 games against Air Force, Kennesaw State, and Sacramento State. And they most recently came back to win against Nevada, which I think has kept this line a little closer than it probably should be. Colorado State head coach Jay Norvell, 22-9 against the spread as an underdog in Mountain West play. Take it to the bank. Colorado State plus 1.5
All right.
over the Spartans of San Jose State. Super confident. And my third pick going to the NFL, just because I like to mix it up a little bit. Chargers Broncos.
Okay.
Both teams lack explosive playability, right? We agree on that, right?
Again, might be being respectful even with that phrasing.
You know, you got Bo Nix, rookie quarterback for the Broncos. Very simplistic offense. Chargers committed to the run like never before. You know, this year it's going to be a slow, drag-out, ground clock running type of game.
Just like Jim
Sure, when
Harbaugh.
James is back for the Chargers, too, that doesn't hurt my play of under 37. Under 37 is low, and I don't know if that has moved since because DraftKings has been down all day, like I said.
Yeah, it's moved in a big way. But if you got it at 37, you said?
Yep.
Lock it in then.
Yeah,
Why, it's
FanDuel,
moved lower?
35.5 on
35
FanDuel.
and a
Good
half.
sign, right?
Yeah.
I need all
So,
the help I can get.
hey, it happens sometimes, right?
35.5 is a super low line for an
Pro
NFL
Bowl.
game.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes it's like that. I'll go next, Kyle. I'm gonna jump you. I'm gonna exercise my win of the week again. First one, I'm gonna go Utah minus 3.5 at Arizona State. One of those games where I think it probably might get a bit hairy, but Friday night,
What conferences are those teams in right
Big
now?
12.
They're both in the Big 12.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought Utah was the Big 10, but yeah, it's so confusing. Former Pac West or Pac 10
Yep.
matchup now.
Former, if you
Big
want,
12.
if you want to get really into the Rolodex, I believe they are also former. Skyline was the
Whack?
no Skyline way back in the day. Either way, now I'm getting into my nerdum a little bit with that. But I'm gonna go Utah minus 3.5 against Arizona State. Utes are just a better ball team. I think we'll get that, but
And the Sun Devils?
yeah, no Utes. Plus Cam Rising's in year like 11 anyway at under center for Utah. The other one I'm going with in college, I do have one NFL this week. I strayed away from what I've gotten myself back out. But my one other college one this week, the Washington Huskies +3 at Iowa.
See, I like the Hawkeyes a little bit, but not enough to make it one of my picks. But
I just, if you're going to give me points against a comparable team against Iowa's, we'll call it offense because that's what it technically is when it's on the field.
was it 2.5?
3.
3?
Yeah. And then I'm going Tampa Bay -3 against the Saints. I'm going exact revenge for you guys on my pick this week. Spencer Rattler, the rookie, starting for the Saints at quarterback. Give me the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I kind of like that too, but that's how they get you in the NFL.
True.
You see how bad the Saints look. The Saints also coming off a short week.
To be fair though, if we're doing that game, Buccaneers are coming off a escape week, quite literally.
Yeah, it's like, New Orleans shouldn't be in that game, right?
On paper.
Yeah.
On paper. Kyle, your time to shine.
Well, that was my leadoff pick.
Was it
Exact
really?
one, yeah. That was
All
my
right.
first pick of the day. And then I'm going to roll with Cincinnati -3.5 at the Giants. I think Joe Burrow's just playing great football right now, and I think they do enough offensively to beat the Giants. And then the Bills, I do think the Bills go and win. I got the -2.5 against the
Take 'em on
Jets.
the money line.
It could do that as well.
If you think you're going to win, take them on the
2.5.
money line. No, I agree. I mean, it seems kind of surprising that it's that big of a spread, or that Buffalo wouldn't even be favored in that game. But, I think it's historically how they performed down in New Jersey against the Jets. So, but I like the Bills too. Well, is Shakir going to play? Is he going to be 100%?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's some unknowns. James Cook was even out the other day out of practice. So
Isn't it crazy if you went back 2 years ago and we would have thought that the deciding factor on whether the Bills might win this game would be if Khalil Shakir was healthy?
Is he even a Bill he wasn't a Bill 2 years ago. I think he was a New Orleans Saint 2 years ago, right? Or something like that.
A rookie?
Maybe. I don't know.
he was their draft pick, the Bills draft pick.
I'm probably getting guys confused then.
Yeah, he was drafted
Thinking
by the
of
Bills.
who's the speedster for New Orleans now? Shaheed.
No, well, maybe, but yeah.
But speaking of more football picks, I do, for some reason, like your Commanders to cover. Something tells me that 6.5 against Baltimore. They're playing so well on offense. You're telling me they can't keep up? And the Ravens, what do they allow? The 10th most passing yards to a quarterback?
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I went homer on that pick yesterday when I was talking with Nick. Let's see. That game,
Trying to find it.
so it depends. If you're going to the over, the best line is an over 51, and the under is a 51.5.
Yeah, I got the 51.5.
So
Could see a shootout.
it's good.
Yeah, I mean,
Again, Baltimore just had one against Cincinnati.
right. And then the week before, bludgeoned the Bills. So
If Washington can, keep putting up the offensive numbers, I think it could definitely be a cover.
I just keep waiting for the bubble to burst for the Commanders. It just seems too good to be true if you're a Commanders fan. All of a sudden now you have one of the best offenses in the league, and you're, a front runner for the NFC East title.
Now you understand my plight. I've been trying to keep everything in check for 3 weeks now, and everybody's been telling me to go crazy. And this week I'm going crazy, and now it's the week everybody's telling me to put the brakes on.
2 weeks ago I lost betting against them because I thought it was a 1 week aberration, but now here we are 2 weeks after that, and they keep on rolling. Jaden Daniels.
MVP.
Well, he's the C.J. Stroud of this year, and C.J. Stroud now mired in a sophomore slump because his key players are injured.
Yeah. I'm about to say Nico Collins is out this week for Houston.
And going to IR.
Is he really
We
officially?
talked about it yesterday.
Yeesh.
So, yeah, that's a big blow because clearly they were a complete different offense, when he left.
Still were able to beat the Bills, though.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Yep. And how about the London game? You guys wanted to stay away from that this week? Jacksonville, Chicago?
I hate London. I hate these.
I'm staying
London
so
European
far away
games.
from it. I mean, go bother watching it.
Yeah, I hate it. It's like I sometimes forget they're even on, and I just keep. Football is America's pastime now, right? The NFL more so than baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
So let's keep it, over here during the hours of 1 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. I don't even love the Thursday game.
Oh, yeah.
Think about the logistical nightmares that just creates for players. Same thing in college, and I guess one reason I thought about that was James Madison plays on Thursday night this week, and I was down there a couple weeks ago for a game and did some tailgating and stuff, and I'm going to go back down in November for I can't remember who they're playing.
Is that the Old Dominion game you're doing?
It might be Old Dominion. But anyways, I'm on their mailing lists and stuff, and I get this thing about all the rules surrounding, tailgating for Thursday night's game. And so they can't open up their lots like it's a normal school day. They can't have, 15,000 fans streaming onto campus 6-8 hours before kickoff like they normally might to tailgate.
Right.
So I think that the lots remain closed until 5 o'clock or something. But
It's a double-edged sword for the mid-major conferences because the intent is to get the highlight of having those schools on a prime time like
with less competition from other games.
correct. Yeah, I mean that's why the MAC does MACtion Tuesdays.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Same with the CUSA on Wednesday now, but
how much exposure?
No, I hear you. I agree with you on
is
that.
James Madison going to get tonight playing on national TV against playoff baseball? Is there any baseball games on tonight?
Two.
Yeah, there's the Dodgers and Padres, or
No, it's Cleveland, Detroit at 6:08, and then 8:08 Yankees, Royals.
oh yeah, the Yankees are going to get so, and then the NFL game.
Yeah.
So how much exposure is James Madison even getting?
Right. No, I don't disagree, especially for
Or Coastal
this,
Carolina.
for this time of year. I think that's why the whole entire MACtion thing works well, and that's why there's been a more or less it's evolved much more than a cult following at this point. Tuesday night in end of October and November, there's your competition is NHL and NBA.
Right, which doesn't even matter in the early season. NHL a little more than NBA, but yeah, Tuesday night's even better than Thursday night. And that also maybe a little easier to manage. But then there's teams that might have to play Tuesday, Saturday. I mean,
No, not the way they do it.
that never happens.
No, not the way that they do it.
But so they don't have to play Saturday, Tuesday either.
Correct.
Ever.
Correct.
So they're basically that means they got a sandwich a buy on both ends for those teams. They can't do that.
Well, yes and no.
If you're not playing,
depends.
if you're not playing Saturday because you're playing Tuesday, and then you're not playing the other Saturday, I guess it'd be one bye that they'd have to because that Tuesday game is actually a week's game. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm long for the old days. You know, does there have to be something on every single night? And for that being said, you know, I'm not watching any of those MACtion games on Tuesday night. I'm just not.
Disrespect.
Sorry, I'm just not.
There's actually a big MAC game this weekend.
I'm a Sunbelt guy,
There's
Paul.
I know, I'm aware, but there's a big MAC game this weekend. Even though you're off the Northern Illinois train.
Buffalo?
Bowling Green.
Oh, yeah. Buffalo has a good one, too,
Yeah.
this week against Miami
Yep.
of Ohio.
Yep. So, I mean, look, and especially now in today's playoff conversational climate, at least playing wise, like these games do have a little bit more weight, you know, to a degree.
You know what they should do in the MAC? Screw the Tuesday game. Kick off at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday mornings.
Oh gosh, that's wild.
Like, think about that. You want some extra exposure, kick off the college football day, you know, and then when other games are starting, your game's going into the fourth quarter, you know, second half. And
Who was it a few years ago that was doing the 11 a.m. kickoffs? There was a
was
couple.
it West Coast?
There was a couple of them.
Yeah, I think
doing
it was West Coast because it helped the East Coast.
Yeah.
Time slots. I think it was it Pac-10 or Mountain West or something like that?
Yeah.
Or the Skyline?
R.I.P.
I don't know. There's just so much. There's so many outlets now and so many. And it's not like the same old days when you had one of those slots on your television set when there was only like 8 to 10 channels with sports on. Now, like, you can stream. Like, some people might not be watching the game because they're watching the
Well, I mean, if you have,
the Ohio State soccer game on, they're streaming it or something.
well, I mean, even then though, with it, I mean, with YouTube TV, the way that they have it set up, I mean, you can have a game from each different network up on the stream at the same time with the quad box. Yeah.
Best.
Or me, if you're lucky, you just have multiple TVs.
But you could, I'm about to say, you could quad box to
With one
whatever the hell 12 is.
with one YouTube TV account, you can have 5 different TVs going at the same time, all streaming if you got enough internet, which most people do nowadays. And or you could quad box a couple, and so.
All right. We're talking TV contracts now, which is the sign that we should probably get on.
No, just like is it as popular to is these Tuesday, Thursday night games really doing
Would you bring back the Monday night West Coast NFL game? Or at least for a couple weeks of the season?
I don't mind it. Although most people I'm a night owl, so NFL game starts at 10. I'm in till the end.
Yeah, I'd love it.
But for most people, I don't think they love it. I think they're in bed by 10:30, and they're finding out who won in the morning. But again, I'm all for football on Sunday night game, Monday night game. That's your week. None of this traveling to Europe. None of this, Thursday night football. Even though, believe me, that's something I watch every single week. But I could do without it and be fine.
Yeah.
And again, having Jacksonville play back-to-back London games starting this week.
Again, like they did last year.
Yeah, like why do you do that? I know the Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-4 now, but to put them back-to-back weeks, who wants to watch them? They're playing the Patriots next week.
They had the only owners who signed off to say that they could do it.
Well, you know what?
Like that's not fun.
They got a winning record over there.
Yeah.
Right?
What is their all-time record? I really do wonder
Beat the
that.
Bills last year.
Seems
Did they
like
win
they do
two
win.
straight over there last year?
Yeah,
They win both of them.
didn't they?
You're asking the wrong guy on that.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'm down to get rid of it.
All right, I agree. Decimate European football.
and Brazilian football and Mexico football.
Yeah, and aren't they looking into another place too? I thought recently. There's some weird place they're looking into now.
Spain, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Asia
that's
somewhere.
Yeah, anywhere basically.
I mean, I don't know. Asia's the one I would be kind of semi-open to, and I always say that because
The
there's
game will kick off at like 3 a.m.
well, there's a within reason standpoint on it. I always say that because of the Japanese all-star college thing that they used to do, and there still is a pretty big following of that. So, I mean, at least there is a following of that. Can't necessarily say that about some places in Europe.
Speaking of college, basketball is
true.
coming up down the pike, and I think
ACC Media Day today.
yeah, I think one of the biggest opportunities to make money betting is early season college basketball.
I can't wait to get back. That's where I get into the SWAC, baby.
Yeah, now there's some
There's some
weeknight
bags
sports
in
action
there.
for you. College basketball, it rules the weeknights.
One quick thing, they're looking to play 8 international games next year, and this will now include Australia, Paris, and Dublin.
Australia?
Yeah, they're looking at
They
all
got
these.
their own football down there with their own rules.
Yeah, crazy rules. You see the guy who got his skull cracked and he was playing the next day? He literally was playing with like staples in his head. It was the most wild, like.
Yeah, the NFL. I mean, why are they doing this? I know it's money, but come on.
Is it though? Like, why? How do they get them? I mean, I guess you supposedly get some fan base across the globe.
It's probably
Television.
it's probably at this point for them like F1 going to some of these countries where it's just like
Australia.
break even at best, but like the exposure is like.
And if you aren't playing fantasy football or you're not like a football fan, I think if you go to these games, these other countries, you think it's boring
Yeah.
compared to European football
I mean-
and Australian rules football or other sports.
Look at the teams they're showcasing. Boring. Like, who wants to watch the Patriots?
I
next
mean,
year?
I don't want to be that guy, but I find going to football games pretty boring overall in the grand scheme of it.
I think
Like,
it is better
I
at
always
home.
I always say that because like you literally get to eyewitness what the hell's going on in a commercial. That trust me, it's a heck of a bunch of nothing. You know. So, I don't know. All right, get out here on that note, guys.
Yep.
Now that we dragged ourselves down. All right, we'll be back at again next Thursday. We'll recap our Week 6 picks. Hopefully, everybody wins this week. Right, turn some tides back around. Kyle, get you back to 15 in the bank.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
I got to go on a run
Yeah,
starting
Jim.
this week. Or if you want, fade me. Watch this show, fade my picks, and if you've done it so far this year, you'd be killing it.
Yeah. Fade Jim, much like my guy Danny Cannell.
I dare you.
Whoa! Challenge has been planted. Fade Jim. I might have to do that now. All right, we'll catch everybody next week. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening. We'll talk with everybody then.